My name is Jonathan Van Ness, and I want to tell you a little bit today about gender roles and how to successfully take a marriage from a destructive household into a household that is actually going to be built up and you're going to be able to survive. Now, today, 50% of marriages end in divorce. No matter if you're involved in a church or not involved in a church. Today, it doesn't matter. Today, people just get married just for fun. We see celebrities do it all the time. Whether it's Kim Kardashian and her 72-hour marriage or whatever it was, or if it's George Clooney, who seems to just get married for fun every week or so. But there's specific things in marriage that make it work. For example, a men's role in a marriage is supposed to be the provider, the one who goes out, makes the money, provides for the family financially, comes home, and supports the family in that way. Generally, the women's role is for her to be at home with the kids, or just by herself doing her activities that a wife should do, cleaning the house, kitchen, that type of thing. Now, today that's looked at as an offensive thing to women, but it's not meant to be. It is perfectly acceptable for women to want to go to work as their husband goes to work. But what I'm trying to get at is, generally in biblical times, this was a woman's job, this was a men's job. Now, today's standard, more women are going to work than even men. The stay-at-home dad routine is actually becoming a thing. People are actually thinking it's okay for men to stay home with kids, and while the woman goes out and works 40 plus hours a week. Now, I don't think that's wrong. I think plenty of people that I even know actually do that. But I do think the lack of commitment that many marriages have starts with the husband not going to work and making the wife, the woman in the family, be the head of the household. Now, I was raised by a single mother. I know it's a very tough job to do those things, and it's by far probably the toughest job in the world. But there's certain things that many children need a man in their life for. A little girl needs a father figure in her life to show her what men should treat women like. A little boy needs a father in his life so that he can know what he can grow up to be like and what he needs to do to grow up and be like, to be an honest, loving, caring husband for someone else. Now, I have brought with me today this book by Willard Harley called His Needs, Her Needs. This book has specific tools, including doing activities together as a couple. Don't just date your spouse until you get married and then let everything just fall away. Continually to pursue them. Go out to dates once a week. Even if you can't spend money, go take a walk. Go do activities together. Make dates. Have anniversaries. Do not give certain things up just because you have kids or just because you got married and you're cool, you got a ring now, you're good. You don't need to do any work anymore. This is where a lot of men fail in marriage and the women get tired. They end up going to counseling, which there's not a problem with. It can help, but there's certain things that I think if men would do, then the women wouldn't be sitting at home tired and just ready to just give up their marriage. In this book that he has specific things that men can do to not only make their marriage better, continue to date their spouse, but to actually make their marriage that much better. There's many things you can do in the beginning to help yourself not fall to this standard. One of the things is in Arizona, where I live, where Northern Arizona University is, They have a marriage license that you can get, that you can sign up for, like regular, $76. There's a covenant marriage license you can get, $76. The covenant marriage license says, I went to premarital counseling, I was taught by specific people, usually people who attend church, people who have spent 50 years married to one another and are able to see that this is how to do it. And they sign off on a piece of paper that says this new couple knows what it's going to take to live out a successful life, a covenant marriage. And if you decide to break that bond that you two have at one point, 5, 10, 15 years down the road, you'll be subject to strict premarital counseling for a number of weeks before you could even start to think about filing for divorce. Now, this is one of the greatest, I think, inventions when it comes to marriage, because people nowadays are just so sick. Oh, I'm tired of that person. They're not doing what I want. I'm not going to work on a marriage because they're not pleasing me. It's not about pleasing you. It's about what you can do to please the other person, and vice versa. When this happens, you will end up like this. Helping one another is the sole foundation of a marriage. I'm not married yet. I'll be married in less than 2 months. But I know for a fact, because I have heard from other couples, that building your spouse up, continuing to pursue your spouse, will lead to a successful marriage, to a successful life. If not, they will find love elsewhere, and that's when idolatry, adultery, and just straight out affairs happen, and they ruin a marriage, ruin a family, and sometimes even just ruin the individual completely. So I would hope that some of the words I've said can influence someone somewhere, and I'm not perfect. I'm just trying to use my wisdom that people have put onto me to give others. So I just want to thank you for listening to my speech tonight, and good luck.